Hello everyone, this video will be talking all about net neutrality. Now for some of you, you may not fully understand what net neutrality is. Essentially, net neutrality is the ability of your internet service provider to limit or throttle your internet data speeds. So some of you are like, what the heck? I don't even know this existed. And that's fine. Most of you probably wouldn't even notice it. However, there are specific companies, I'm going to you AT&T, that do throttle the data caps of their regular customers. So, for example, let's say I have a 2 GB data limit in 4G LTE with AT&T. They throttle my internet speeds until I hit my 2 GB cap, and then it gets even worse. So, I do have 2 GB of data, but the way I get to 2 GB of data is much slower with AT&T customers. But AT&T is not the only mobile carrier that does this. Verizon has done this in the past, Sprint has done this, T-Mobile has done this. And now it all changes. February 26th, a Thursday, is when the FCC finally decided to classify the internet as a Title II utility. Hooray! What does this mean? Essentially what it means is that the internet is going to work like plumbing in your house, like the water that you get in your home. It can be privatized, so you can have a private internet service provider like Comcast, Time Warner Cable, AT&T, Verizon, whoever the heck you want. But it's a public utility. So what this means is that every single person gets fair and equal treatment. So as an example, if the New York Times releases a statement saying that the new Comcast Time Warner Cable merger will be bad for customers that currently have Time Warner Cable, and Comcast doesn't like that, what they can do is they can have all of their customers that try to go onto the New York Times' website and find out more information, they can throttle that or even block the website completely, which would deny everybody access to it. What making the internet a Title II does is it doesn't allow these internet service providers to pick and choose, who they favor, who they don't favor, and what they choose to have. And this is really cool because this is the first step, and it's in a whole bunch of other countries that this is happening. It's not only in the USA. It's happening in the United Kingdom, in Australia, in Canada, in India, and the Netherlands. So we're not alone. Now, the big thing is that there's a couple key things that'll happen. Legislation will not make your connection faster. That's part one. Your connection is not going to suddenly double and triple in speeds. If you pay for 4 megabits per second download speeds, it's going to stay at 4 megabits per second download speeds. Don't expect anything to change. Don't expect it to get any faster. You're not suddenly going to get 15,000 gigabytes per second. That's just not going to happen. It's not the way the internet is provided to your home. Speeding up your connection is going to require you to pay more money. That's just not the way it works. Number two, this will not eliminate the wireless data cap. So, using the previous example, if you have 2 gigabytes of data, that's it. Your data cap is 2 gigabytes. When you go over your data limit, you will still pay a lot of money to go over your data limit. Like a lot of money. It's really expensive. And the days of unlimited data, those are the best. Those are the best times in the world. And the rules will not add more competitors. So you're not going to see the government, kind of like what they did with the Healthcare Act, with Obamacare and whatever. They're not going to suddenly create more companies to be in the field that you can diversify it with. And these rules will not stop the Comcast Time Warner Cable merger, which for those of us here in New York is kind of bad because Comcast doesn't exactly have the best kind of reputation with its employers and its customers. It's really not a good place to be. So hopefully that doesn't go through. Keep an eye on it. We'll let you know more about that in another video coming up. Okay, so these rules will also not allow you to access things faster. So what does this mean? Didn't we already cover this? Sort of. essentially, you have one internet cable coming into your house, or at least most of you do. Some of you may have more than one internet cable, but that's a topic for another day. That comes into your router and then goes straight through to all of your computers and all of your connected devices. There's only so much data that can be transferred. So if you pay for 5 megabits per second in data, you're going to get 5 megabits per second in data, regardless of how many other things are happening. So if you're watching a new episode of The Walking Dead and you're downloading like all of your latest game updates on Steam and you're tweeting about The Walking Dead, you know, something's going to slow down. You know, it takes a lot to stream movies and such to your TV through Netflix, Hulu Plus, or Amazon Prime. So expect slowdowns if you're using so many different things at one time. Basically, bottom line, nothing really is going to change. All that happened is that the internet is classified as a utility. This is the bottom line. The internet has now been classified as a utility, so everybody can have access to it. The internet service providers cannot limit your ability to access another website. And it is like their own competition. They can't. The internet has become like water. So that means that everybody can access it, and it is not private, per se. That kind of varies person to person. You know, moving on to privacy issues and such. As some of you may have heard, there have been a whole bunch of kidnappings by ISIS in the Middle East. So now, here's one thing that we're probably on the same page with, but that we don't quite fully and totally understand. So ISIS has captured a whole bunch of Christians. And you know, being a Christian, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't really like it. But, you know, it kind of makes me wonder why. So yeah, this whole thing has to get cut. This entire thing's getting cut. That's it for this week's tech news. Like this video if you liked it, dislike this video if you disliked it. Leave a comment in the video if there's any new topics or if your feelings are more complicated than this. Thanks again. Bye.